All right, well, today is January the 29th, 2022. And right now we have 10:23 p.m. We have a temperature of 48 degrees here in the foothills of Los Angeles. The relative humidity is 41%, should be about 90%. The dew point is only 26 degrees, and the barometer is reading 29.95 inches. All right, so right now we're looking at the East Pacific long wave IR map. We see that we have what looks like a low pressure system, and in fact it is a low pressure system, and it's running right over central, but the vortex is running right over Southern California. And so we've had zero rain, not a drop, not any drizzle, nothing, no rain. So this thing right here should have brought, an inch and a half, 2 inches of rain to the central and Southern California area right there, which is now over Arizona. Now look at the Doppler map right here. We see that Arizona has been granted rain. They're getting some precipitation right here. Now there's been a smattering of bits of green. We see it here out in the eastern desert areas of Southern California. But if we look at the hydrology report here for the Southern California area here, right here, we see that in the past 24 hours, we've got zeros everywhere, all the way up and down the coast, all the way inland, and in the mountainous areas, zeros everywhere. And that's the same story for Northern California and Central California. Okay, looking at the Doppler map, once again, we see some rain here in the greater Los Angeles area. Looks like a little bit of rain, but once again, even in the 2 and 3 hour precipitation records, there's zeros. There's just nothing happening. And maybe those numbers will change. We'll keep an eye on it. But that little weather system that we saw just a second ago should have brought 1 to 2 inches of rain. Let's go ahead and look at that again. Right here. This is a low pressure system. We can see high pressure right on the southwest side of that. And this is moving right through our area this morning and this afternoon. Overnight and this morning. It looked like it was going to rain this morning. So there it is. There's your counterclockwise rotating moisture field and vortex. Let's go ahead and look at this. The surface map here we see is a mess. At the 1000 millibar level here, we see all these squiggly isobars. It's just a mess. So there's no organization at the 1000 millibar level, sea level basically. Over here we see that storm that moved down through the right offshore of the Carolinas and moved right up the coast. Now that dumped about 2 inches of snow in Manhattan, and out in Westchester County, about maybe a half hour from Manhattan, it dropped about 8 inches of snow. And so we'd like to hear the comments wherever you happen to be. Post a comment and let us know how this storm affected you. If there was any ice or just what. Okay, so looking once again here, we see that the western half of the country, the isobars are a mess. And this is why this weather system that we were just looking at moving into Southern California didn't deliver any rain, not a drop, because there's nothing being allowed to get organized. Let's look at the 500 millibar chart. We see we have a closed low right here over California, Nevada, portions of Utah and Arizona. And also at the 300 millibar level, we see that closed low pressure right there. Okay, so that is the situation. No rain. Once again, I think that the spigot's going to be off for the rest of the season. The weather controllers have given us a fair amount of rain so far this season. We're up at about let's see, almost 14.8 inches. Just about 14.8. So that's going to be about it for the season. Well, we've had in January alone just only 3.125 inches, 3.12 inches. That's 5/16. Okay, and all of our rain for this season fell in December. All right, looking at the sea level chart here, we see high pressures all over the place, right over California and Oregon and Washington, blocking everything. We've got another huge high pressure installed out here in the East Pacific and the Central Pacific. Here's Hawaii. There's that high blocking this hurricane force storm. That's going to be forced to the north. We've got a couple of lows here indicated to be moving to the southeast, but we can't get any rain into California. Let's look at these maps once again. This should have, like I said, a couple inches of rain, no problem. Now, when I started watching the weather on TV back in the late 60s and early 70s when the satellite maps were shown, we'd see a very small sliver of moisture, something about like this, if you can imagine this, sweeping down and moving into the state, and that would deliver 2 or 3 days. This little sliver right here, or that little sliver right there, back in the day, it would sweep down, just a small little sliver of a frontal system we'd see come down and move right in, and that would deliver 2 or 3 days of rain. And look at these gigantic moisture fields and weather systems, and they've got this, they've got things so controlled now. Like today, we should have had rain, and the humidity was in the low 40s, in the high 30s most of the day, mid 30s actually. Here over here we see a straight edge. This is probably almost a couple of thousand miles long right here. Watch that form up. Got a right angle right up here. Got manipulation here. This is where your occluded fronts form. Let's just back that up. Speed this up. We can see right here, look at that right angle. So on the weather charts at the surface level, you see that these, this is an occluded front being generated by a satellite transmitter. We see that right angle. When they do this, that separates this associated frontal system. You can see the clockwise, that moisture is peeling off in a clockwise direction. This is how they regulate, precisely regulate not only the pressure in that vortex, but the amount of moisture that's allowed to flow back into the low pressure vortex. So no doubt that the jets were up spraying today to manage this rain opportunity right there over Southern California. So we were gypped out of another couple of inches. The ground is parched once again, bone dry soil. All that rain we had on the 29th and 30th of December, that was about 5 3/4 inches. That moisture hung around on the soil for about 2 weeks, and then it all dried out. We've had Santa Ana winds, manufactured winds, hellacious winds. We're blowing 90 miles an hour in some spots here in Southern California. Okay, so that's the report. We can take a look at the East Coast here real quick on the Doppler map. And that was a fast-moving storm. It's way up over Maine and New Brunswick, it looks like right here. We see that right here. We've got there's a WSR-88D somewhere out over here, over near Newfoundland. You can see that little sliver pie-shaped cutout there. But it looks like it's snowing pretty good out in the eastern side of Maine. So let us know how what you got, snow-wise or ice or just what. And we'll try to get another update sooner. I've just been very busy, and we'll try to get an update here real soon. Look at this. Right off of Washington. Looks like that Camino Island transmitter is at work, the WSR 88D that operates right about here in Camino Island. It's chopping up the precipitation there. Okay, so that's about it for now. We'll just leave it right here. Let's take a look at this. I didn't show this map. This is actually the storm that went through the northeast today. We can see a transmitter right there. Look at that dry area. That really gets some violent winds going. So I'd like to hear once again from the people up, up in from about Virginia all the way up through Maine, what the wind conditions were and all that. Your snow totals. Look at that. That's how you jumpstart a storm right there. Look at that rectangle. Now, I wanted to get an update yesterday. I was following a low pressure system way up right about here yesterday before all this had even formed. We had to have the tropical flow merging with all this cold weather, which is happening right here. But there was a low pressure that was being followed. It had no condensation in it except for the very center, and that was being followed by a satellite transmitter. It looked like a donut, and it was just moving right along, and then right as it merged right here, they pulled the transmitter off, and bang, you got yourself an instant clockwise rotation, which we're seeing right here. Okay, so that's going to be it, and we'll do another update real soon. That's it.